Hey guys, it's Chris here from Chris's Creative Life, and I design workshops that help you create beautiful projects from start to finish with easy to follow guides. If you need to know anything more about me or have questions, you can make sure to jump over to my blog, which is chrisscreativelife.com. There's like lots of tabs across the top about all the things that I do. So we are going to have some fun today, guys. We are going to assemble these three cards. And there's totally a purpose for this, and I'll talk about it as we go. But this comes out of one of the really fun brown boxes from Stampin' Up. And if you're in Canada and interested in any of the supplies, I would love if you would shop with me at chrisrobertson.stampinup.net. Okay, so I'm going to add my desk in here, and we're going to open the box and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so we need some more light. We can turn it up. So I have actually created these ones. I'm going to create them again, but they come out of this box. So this is the birthday fancy kit from Stampin' Up, and it's a stamping kit. So some of the kits are stamping kits and some of the kits are not stamping kits. This one happens to be a stamping kit, and so we're going to open it. So it's all vacuum sealed like this. There is a stamp set and then an ink spot. In this one is the Lost Lagoon ink spot. I'm going to use my big ink pad, and I will save that little spot for something else. So we're just going to open this up. And as soon as I saw this kit, I knew it had so much potential. It's tons of fun. So there's always like a set of instructions. There is the little insert for your stamp set. So I'm just going to fold this up and I'll put it underneath the stamp set, and it just makes it a little bit easier to see the stamps here. So you can see, if you do this, that's how they are, but it says sweetest birthday wishes, let's eat cake, happiest birthday, sending you happy birthday wishes for you. Wishing you another year as sweet as you. Time to celebrate. So, and I love this. I love when they do this, when they mix like a script and a printed font together. So then there is an insert here. And so this one is it's not exactly the same as the heirloom arrangements, which was like kind of like almost like a free-for-all. They just gave you lots of different elements inside and you created your own cards. This is semi-directed. So there are 3 cards here that they tell you exactly how to make them. And we're going to make those 3 cards. And then at the end, I'm actually going to show you what I did with the rest of the stuff after, because it all turned out super cute. But so you can take the rest of the contents and make, like, there's lots of stuff left if you wanted to make cards out of the kit. I just chose to do something different with the contents of the kit. But so here we go. So all the envelopes are the same. They have the pretty gold sparkle on the top, right? That looks kind of like confetti. And there are 12 envelopes in here. There are dimensionals. There are our little sentiment spots. And then for card bases, there are 3 different designs. And we're going to create one of each of them. So we're going to use the confetti one. Then there's the blue with the dot. And then the last one is this petal pink stripe. So that's the 3rd one. So they always show you, right? This is the like directed portion of this kit. Like I said, I'll show you and what I did with the rest. But I'm going to put the rest of the bases aside. Okay, so we have one of each base, and it shows you literally what's on each of the cards. So don't need any of those. We do need this for card number 1. So this is like a petal pink. It ends up being like the sentiment piece. Okay, I don't think we need any more of those. These are more bases. We need one of those for card number 1. I keep those pieces relatively close because you never know when I miss something. Okay, and then look at all these sweet little pieces. So there's just sheets and sheets of fun things to decorate your cards. Like I said, there are the 3 card examples, and we're going to make one of each of them. And then other than that, you're just supposed to have fun with it. So I had some fun with it. Okay, so we need this frame for card number 2. And I do actually like that all these laser cuts come out quite easily. You don't have to worry about like ripping them or them falling out and getting all squished. Like they kind of stay in like the perfect amount of stickiness or togetherness, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so these I don't think we're going to use. We need one of these petal pink pieces. So, and always like, I think that a fun way to kind of get started is always a kit. So if you like want to introduce somebody to crafting, that is always, a kit is always kind of a fun way to do it. Okay, so I think we have the big pieces. Now we just need some of the smaller pieces. Okay, so this is card number 1 that we're going to create. So we need the lemon cake. We need the cake with the shorter cake with the cherries on top. This reminds me kind of like those, you know, the punch-out dolls that we used to have in the good old days. The little blue teacup. And do we need a small cake? I think so, right? A small cake on a stand. And then on this sheet, we need one of these little purple pastries and a little bowl of cherries and the little tiny strawberries. So there's no actual embellishments on these cards, but there's lots of embellishments that we have that if you wanted to like jazz them up, you totally could. They would be work well. Okay, so we also need for the 3rd card this, and for the blue one, hey Tara. Tara knows what I did with the rest of this, I bet. Okay, so then card number 2. So let's move some things out of the way. And this is like a huge sheet of dimensionals for this kit too. So lots of things get popped up, obviously. So this is card number 2 and card number 3. So we're going to pull the other things. So I need that yellow cake and these little flowers go on this last one. And we need some macaroons for the last one. And this little 1-layer cake. Oh, and we need one of those for that first one too. And then we need one of these, each of these pastries here, and a purple teacup right here. Okay. Oh, and we need this cake too. Oh, and we need another cake. The good news is there's lots of cakes in here. So it is this cake right here. I kind of really think it's neat that there's all different levels of kits, right? There's like simple kits that you can literally put together exactly how they show you. There's kits that you can alter. There's all different kinds of kits. They do really do a really good job with their kit collection. Okay, so we need this lemon pie here. And then, did this just fall out or do we need it? Nope, we don't need that. We need this one and this one. Okay, I think we have all the parts and pieces. And now we can get started. So, sorry, I have like that, you know, that naggy end of the summer. It's either allergies or a cold. I'm hoping it's just my allergies, but you never know. Okay, so those two I'll put up there. So this is the first one we're going to create. So here we go. Super pretty card bases, all of these. I think that they look, you know, like it's quite an elevated card, but it's really super simple to put together. Okay, so we're going to stamp our card. So we need happiest birthday. And then still too, right, once you've finished with all your cards, you still have like super useful sentiments. Okay, so I'll just move my envelopes out of the way for a second here. There's only so much room in this little space in front of us. Okay, so happiest birthday. There we go. So I am actually going to use my seal and not the tape that comes with it. And right, you get to do whatever works best for you. So the first thing is we're going to take this pretty pink doily and I'm going to add it about here. I want it to be tucked underneath, right? There we go. And then this piece is flat too. And actually the funny thing is, I think I dropped my dots on the ground. So we will use these ones. Okay, so our yellow cake gets dots. So, and like literally it tells you exactly how much adhesive you need, where to put it, all with just like pictures, no words even, right? Okay, so that one, our little cherry basket gets a dot. Then our cake gets 2 dots. And then everything else I think is dimensional. So this cake gets 2 dots. Okay, so let's do our little cake stand arrangement here to start. If you guys have any questions along the way, feel free to ask. I'm happy to try and answer. Don't always know the answer, but okay, so I want my cake kind of at the top of the doily. Like that. And then I'll add, the pink one is flat. So I'll go like right here. And then we'll do dimensionals on this one. So 1, 2, 3, and then put these all to the back. We need a trim one for the little strawberries. Or we could just use like the outside edge, which is what I'm going to do. Because there's these nice little pieces on the outside, right? There we go. So let's add this one. And I need to get my cherries in here because they're flat. And then we're just kind of tucking everything else in here. So this one. This can just kind of go underneath and a little bit lower. Our teacup over here. So just a really pretty like scene, right? All different levels. And then our strawberries with just the small piece on the back. There we go. Super pretty. Okay, so then this is card number 2, Sweetest Birthday Wishes. So we just flip to the next page. It's like origami to flatten them out, back out again, right? So we have all our pieces. The frame is going to get some dots on it. But I actually might just use glue so it doesn't show. Okay, so I'm going to fold my card base. And then I'm going to actually glue it down. And then I will stamp my sentiment. So I can just add some glue. Or maybe not. Oh, there we go. It has been super warm, so I've been having a lot of problems with my glue. So Of course, I decide to use it on camera, right? Okay, so I'm just going to center this. And just let it sit. Okay, and then we'll stamp sweetest birthday wishes. Right here. Okay. Cute, cute. So now this one just gets dots. Maybe to speed it up, I'll just use my tape runner and dots. Okay, and then our cup is going to get a dimensional. And then this cake gets dots. Okay, and then this cake actually is supposed to have dimensionals. So there we go. This one is flat. Okay, so I'm going to start on the far side and work across. So there we go. And I'm going to add my dimensionals on this piece, and then I can kind of set it in the right spot-ish, right? And I can tell how everything needs to go onto the card. So now we have this one. And the gold foiling is so pretty on here, right? It's like it doesn't need an embellishment. Like I said, it doesn't have an embellishment with this kit, but you could totally add one if you wanted, or just keep it the way it is. You could use Wink Stella on it. You could splatter them, right? All of those fun things. I feel like I want to move this over just a little bit. And then our purple cup goes off the edge over here. Then this little guy, we'll just do a glue dot. And I love these little strips of glue dots, right, that are in the packaging. So we can do this one right there, a dimensional on here. And then our last cake, and I'm just going to keep the dimensional in the middle, and then I could kind of just squeeze it in where I need to. Just like above and under, kind of just tuck it. There we go. card number 2. It totally does feel to like a tea party kind of situation, right? So here we go, the last one. Okay, so I'm going to add this. And so this piece is flat. Okay, so you can see here, right, I want the cake behind the lemon pie. So I'm just going to kind of roughly decide. There we go. Add my dimensionals on here. And then this cake also gets dimensionals. And the macaroons do too. And then I'm assuming the flowers go flat. So here we go. So we'll go right like here. And then the pie. And then the flowers. And I can just tuck these in right there. Our little macaroons. And then time to celebrate. So that's this one. And that goes on dimensionals also. Just going to close up my ink. There we go. So these are the 3 cards as like they're part of the kit. And so when I saw this kit, I knew I wanted to do something else with it other than just create cards, because lots of my customers and people are scrapbookers, right? So I created the 3 cards, and then I took what was left over and I added some things to it, and I created a scrapbooking workshop. So we're going to actually take a look at that now too. So we're going to have to zoom out a little bit. Sorry about that. Okay, so here is what I created with the rest. So like I said, I took the 3 cards, the way they were designed, and then I created 3 double page spreads. We can actually take this out of the way too. For 6 12 by 12 scrapbooking pages. And so what I added was, it's the birthday kit. I added some white willow, some basic black, Lost Lagoon, fresh freesia, strawberry slush. This is all cardstock. And then a sheet of gold foil. Then the strawberry slush and pink and pretty in pink gems and linen thread. And so I'll show you what I created here. So they actually turned out super pretty. So like I said, I took everything that was left over. I designed 3 SVGs that go with this workshop. So there's a sweet slice of life. This is layout number 1. And then layout number 2, let's eat cake, which is always a good thing to do, I have to say. So you can see here the glitter gems all tucked in. There's the card bases, right, that got cut up. Then you can see where all the cardstock comes into play, right? This is one of the pieces from the card kit. And then sweetest celebration, some of the big dovetailed pieces, all of those fun things. So I just actually think that before this, I clicked publish on the blog post. So if you're interested in finding out any more details about the scrapbooking layouts, you can find them on my blog, which is chrisscreativelife.com. And if you just look under workshop guides, so I'll just do a quick walkthrough of what actually is included in a guide. So I try and make it as easy as possible so your layouts turn out exactly the same as mine. So if you purchase the workshop guide, there's like obviously a little introduction page, the supplies you used. I did show you that like I assembled those 3 cards. There is a link to the SVGs. Then I also created a bonus sheet that is celebration titles. So it's a PDF where there's extra titles and then space where you could add your own. Then there is a full color cutting guide so that you can cut up all the pieces so that your pages turn out the same as mine. And that goes through like every kind of paper that I used, etc. Then there's like assembly directions right before the photos and stuff are on top. And then there's large photos with some more detailed photos. So like I said, if you're interested in any of the details about my fancy birthday kit workshop, just make sure to stop by my blog. And so that's what I've got for you guys today. Like I said, I knew I wanted to come on and let me just assemble the cards, the 3 cards that start the workshop, because they're kind of like a little bit of like a warm-up before you do all your scrapbooking pages. So you get 3 double page spreads and then the 3 cards, all yours to give and document all those fun celebrations. So that's what I got for you guys today. Feel free, if you have any questions, always feel free to ask. Just drop them in the comments below, or you can always send me an email at chris@chrisscreativelife.com. Talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.